Now, the South Plains first news in high definition. This is KCBD News Channel 11 at 10.
Good evening and thanks for joining us. Abner is off this evening. At the top of the news, the Bastrop County wildfire continues to threaten thousands of homes and acres. At last check, 1,700 homes were burned and more than 34,000 acres have been charred. 2 people have died and the fire is still just 30% contained. Meanwhile, here at home tonight, one Lubbock agency is on standby to help. KCBD News Channel 11's Christy Post joins us now with the latest. Christy?
Well, Karen, since this fire is so massive, the Salvation Army is feeding firefighters around the clock. Now they need more help, this time from our local unit that is on standby. So far, 6 units, including San Diego and Waco, have responded, providing 4 meals a day.
The group on site since Monday has served over 10,000 drinks and about 700 some odd meals. That's a lot for a lot of firefighters to keep them on task, to keep them working, and get them back into the fight. They're trying to save homes down there, and that's a real battle.
In anticipation for a call, the Salvation Army of Lubbock has packed their mobile unit with food and clothes. Their main duty will be to relieve volunteers who have been serving food for about a week. The Salvation Army units will remain in Bastrop County at least until Monday and potentially beyond. The local unit here says they will know in the next couple of days if they will go. And if you would like to help their efforts, you can donate directly to the Army. We will have that information. Just go to our website at kcbd.com. Karen.
All right, thank you, Christy. And today, cleanup efforts were underway at the Scrub-A-Dub Barrel Company in Lubbock, and the Environmental Protection Agency says it is potentially one of the worst of any hazardous threats in this region. Today, the EPA began shredding empty drums at the site on North Ash, just north of McKenzie Park. The EPA says the company had a history of toxic spills and other violations dating back to the 1970s. And now the agency is trying to make room for more than 40,000 drums. They say they still need to investigate to find out if there is any problem there. At the site on North Ash, which is just north of McKenzie Park, the EPA says that the company has this history of toxic spills, as I mentioned. The EPA expects to excavate now over 2 acres worth of contaminated soil. Well, a close call this evening near Plainview where a man accidentally shot himself. It happened in the small community of Seth Ward, which is just north of Plainview. Hale County Sheriff's deputies tell us that a 21-year-old man was handling what he thought was an unloaded .45 revolver, but that's when he accidentally shot himself. His brother drove him to the hospital in Plainview, and from there, AeroCare flew him to Covenant here in Lubbock. He is expected to be okay. Well, the search is on tonight for a suspect accused of holding up a Lubbock convenience store. Here's what police say they are looking for at this point. We know it's a black man with a mustache and a goatee. He's about 29 years old, they tell us, and stands about 5 feet 9 inches tall. He was seen wearing a black and white striped shirt and a dark colored pants. Police say the man robbed the 7-Eleven in the 5000 block of University. And if you have any information that could help police, you're please asked to call Crime Line. That number you probably know by now is 741-1000. Well, today didn't it feel good? The skies were overcast, the weather was a little cooler, so all we can hope is that the weather will stay like that this weekend and maybe get a little rain on top of that as well. So let's go to John to find out what's in store for the weekend. John?
Well, Karen, our rain chances are holding in there, but they're not all that strong for the weekend. But temperature-wise, it does look nice. Tonight has been very pleasant over our region. We actually recorded a trace of rainfall at the National Weather Service out at the airport here in Lubbock, and that's been the general amounts, unfortunately, for most areas. Trace amounts are less, a few sprinkles here and there. Doppler radar shows most of the rain that's really producing any moisture on the ground is located in the mountains of New Mexico, trying to drift into our western counties. There's been a little bit of activity in our west and northwestern areas, but very minimal at all. Most of that is gone at this point. Temperatures, here's how they look for the evening. As I mentioned, Texas Tech Mesonet sites show readings that are very mild. We've got a few 60s to our north. We're down around a 70 area in Lubbock as far as the temperature, I should say. And some other temperatures, if you get to see those, are down off the Cap Rock, some mid-70s down around the Snyder Post area. All in all, it has been a pleasant evening, and it looks like, Karen, it will be a nice morning in the 50s. Tomorrow, though, back around the low 80s, a little warmer.
All right, thank you, John. Well, good news for Lubbock because the Lubbock Police Department now has 13 additional officers. Today, graduation ceremonies were held for 13 new recruits who completed the Lubbock Police Academy. The ceremonies took place at the Texas Tech Frazier Alumni Pavilion on the Tech campus. The newly sworn-in officers completed a 23-week training course, and what happens next? Well, now for the next 15 weeks, they will ride with a field training officer. Congratulations to all of them. A big day for students at McWhorter Elementary School. This morning, the school held a ribbon-cutting ceremony for their new playground equipment. The equipment is one of the many improvements made possible through the 2010 bond program approved by Lubbock voters last November. Similar playground equipment will soon be installed at every LISD elementary school. In addition, every campus will have a special handicap-accessible play area, which that's important. And over at the Lubbock Memorial Civic Center, the 23rd annual National Cowboy Symposium began today. The symposium lasts through Sunday and will feature exhibits, performances, and artwork celebrating Western heritage. Tickets start at $10 for adults and can be purchased at the Civic Center. And for a complete look at the events in this weekend's symposium, just visit our website. That's kcbd.com.